Hey everybody, Johnny K here with Master Photography Now, and today we're going to be talking about a lens that I think everybody should have. If you're into photography at all, if you have any kind of single lens reflex, SLR, DSLR, or mirrorless camera, you need a 50mm lens, and I'm going to tell you why. But first, please subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to Master Photography Now, and you'll get to see everything new as it's created. Also, please like this video and comment below with what you learned or what you would like to learn about. That said, let's get right into it. So a 50mm lens, there are a whole bunch of reasons that you should get one. Number one is it's cheap. It's inexpensive. The cheapest lenses, they're around $150, and they can go up to a couple thousand for a super fancy one, but you can hardly tell the difference for most people. But why is a 50mm so much better? Yeah, it's cheaper, okay. Zoom lenses can be really expensive, but why is a 50mm better? Well, there's a bunch of reasons, okay. So first of all, you have to understand that it doesn't zoom, and that's okay because we're going to use it for what we want to use it for. But why is it better? Well, number one, it's sharper than a zoom, and you can get a cleaner picture. Number two is it has a shallower depth of field, so you can open up the lens and get a shallower depth of field, so you can focus on my face and the background will be more blurred than with a zoom lens. And actually I'm using a 50mm lens to shoot this video right now. Number three, since you can open up the aperture wider and get a brighter image, you also get more light, so you can shoot in lower light. So that's a really big plus right there. Number four is actually image distortion and image quality overall. When you have a prime lens that isn't zooming and it doesn't need a bunch of extra pieces of glass to zoom in and out, you can actually have a cleaner image from edge to edge, more sharpness from edge to edge, less fringing and distortion and things like that. So it's actually a higher quality. Number five is it's actually lightweight. So if you want to carry it around all day long on a little camera, it doesn't have to be a big DSLR or anything. It could be a small one or a small mirrorless. It's going to be lightweight and easy to use. And then number six actually is the focal length is very usable. So it's about what your eye sees. So when you're looking through a viewfinder and a camera, if you put a 50mm up, it's about the distance and angle that your eye sees. The lower numbers, like a 28mm or 24mm, is a much wider lens. So you're kind of pushing everything farther away and making the image wider. The higher numbers, like a 200mm or 400mm lens, those are telephoto, and they're narrowing your angle, bringing everything much closer. All right, but a 50mm is about what your eye sees, so it's a very natural lens. In fact, if you look on screen here at all the lenses I have, you can see all the different kinds. Even back in the 1960s, they came pretty much as a kit lens with almost every old school camera that you could get. So, there's a bunch of reasons that you can use this thing. It's cheap, it's light, it's sharp, it lets in a lot of light, it's a very natural view, and you can get a nice shallow depth of field. So I highly recommend one. I actually personally only have one that cost me like $250. You can get one that's $400 or $800 depending on a little bit bigger maximum aperture, a little softer bokeh in the background, things like that. But they're hardly different at all. But if you were to shoot a zoom at 50, it's going to be darker, it's not going to be as sharp, it's going to have more distortion, it's going to be a much heavier lens, and the lens is going to cost you more. So, great choice, excellent photographer's lens. Everybody should get one if you have any kind of removable lens camera. So there's my recommendation for today, and we'll see you soon.